Alright, welcome back to Apologize to State's Attorney. Let's continue. Ah! But, Mr. Gavin, I think things just took a turn for the worse. Oh, I see no problem, Justice. Uh-huh. The only thing that matters is the truth. Well, there's good reason for everything, you'll see. Defendant, could you explain your fingerprints on this bottle to the court? What do you gotta say, Phoenix? I summon my plea of silence regarding the murder. For now. Not very cooperative, are you? This could hurt your case. I'm sure he's uncooperative because he's hiding something. There must be some reason.
Objection!
Yes? Your Honor, you seem to have forgotten something. What by that mean, Mr. Gavin? On the night of the crime, who was it that reported the murder to the police? Reported? Well, that was the defendant, Mr. Wright, but still that... Really? Yes, well, according to the case file, the murder is reported near the scene by a call by the defendant's cell phone. Near the scene? Let's take a look at a diagram of the murder scene, shall we? The victim was murdered in a small room in a basement 2 floors down from the ground level. Of course, cell phones can't get reception so far down. The defendant used the stairs in this hallway to go above ground. The call came from the first floor of the restaurant. I see, and this is the phone that made the call. Right cell phone added to the court record. The defendant could have just fled the scene of the crime if he so chose. Yet he fulfilled his duty as a citizen and reported to the authorities. Yet you claim he is being uncooperative. Nice save, Mr. Gavin. And you better not waste this. I think the prosecution has toyed with their claim enough for the time being. Toyed? I assure you, no one is more serious about... Was what you said. The defendant was in the room the very moment the crime occurred. Like, how you possibly know this? That's a good question. How indeed? The question is simple, Your Honor. The prosecution is a decisive witness. Hehehe. You're as good as they say you are. So someone else was in the room the night of the crime. This means they witnessed the crime. Yes. Everything has been warm until now, Justice. Are you ready? We'll see. Very well. The first prosecution will call its first witness to the stand. Okay. Hello. What you got? What you got there? The witness will state her profession and name, or name and profession. Hold on just a moment. Where's the witness? I suppose that she has been frightened by the defense's demonic-looking horns. So use a little hair chill. Relax, people. Have no fear. If any horns point in your direction, this court will cut them off. You are sure? I swear on my gavel. Please, come out. Isn't violence against a crime, Your Honor? Well, if you're sure it is okay. Hello. Now the prosecution. What? She took a picture. Oh, wait a minute. Would the prosecution care to explain the witness's, paraphernalia? Yes. She's a professional, Your Honor. Those are merely the tools of her trade. And that would be? My name is... Oh, well, really. I'm employed as a witness in the Borscht Club... in the Borscht Bowl Club restaurant. Then why the camera? Of course, it is my pride to serve borscht. That is the naming of restaurant. What? Okay. But us perform, how is it said, other service. I take one of those other services of taking the customer's pictures. Like, for example, this one. Oh, they're having a chat. That's the defendant. Indeed, name of the murder. Man in white hat is the one who has gone kaput. Indeed, that is the victim. Yep, they're having a chat. Order! Order! This cardiac piece of evidence scarcely dropped into our laps. The same way I drop cold bowls of borscht on the laps of customers. Casually. And the court will casually accept this new evidence. Okay. Good to know. Now, if you would hold on just a moment, I'd like to look at that. Just having a chat. Okay. Oh, and what is the phone? Let me see the phone. Used by... Okay, that's very well. Now, witness, where are you in the time of the murder? I was in room, the hideout, we call it. Excuse me, the hideout? It is a room where famous gangster... Bad guy. Bad guy was arrested. Is room where murder took place. What? You look for a surprise. It is lovely. I'll post my courtroom door for you later. Photos will be numbered and you will write down which ones you want a copy of. So there are 3 people in the room that tied the crime. The victim, Shady Smith, Mr. Wright, and Ogo Really, our witness. Mr. Wright isn't the killer, that means... Very well, witness. You will testify to the court about that night's events. Okay. That fateful night. Okay. That night, the customer asked me to deal cards for game. It was cold. Both players put the tats on. The victim, he plays the whole time with the tats unlocked in his neck. And then last hand is done. But something terrible has happened. The man flew at victim and strangling him to death. I know that sounds nice, but that's not. Incidentally, who won the game? Isn't it obvious? The winner was the victim, Mr. Smith. Hit the table. That's ridiculous. Because Mr. Wright can't lose. Justice. Maybe you can come up with a more legitimate objection. But he hadn't lost in 7 years. Take it from me, kid. It happens. I didn't lose a case my first 7 years as prosecutor, either. Incidentally, there's some evidence here. Oh, really? Oh, a picture of the... Okay. These are the poker chips they lay at the very moment... These are the poker chips as they lay the very moment of the crime. The hand and chips on this side belong to the defendant, Mr. Wright. Those on the far side belong to the victim, Mr. Smith. Chips, you say? I mean, yes. Imagine poker as war. Your hand is your RB and chips are the spoils. I know that. After all, in my youth, that was known as... the poker head of court number 3. I think he means poker face. But, close enough. Looking at this picture, it does seem that most of the chips are on the victim's side of the table. Interesting. Very well, the defense may question the witness. Yes, let me finally get to that. Okay. Has to deal cards. It was cold. They both had hats. Hand in a locket. And then he strangled them to death. But, no, he was actually hit in the head. That doesn't work. Oh, really? Strangled, you say? That's odd. Normally customers only choke on borst. No, I mean this report shows the victim died of a blow to the head. Is it really now? Did he witness the crime? Eee! Hey, what? Was that a lobster? Was that a lobster in that bowl? Looking at the picture, it doesn't seem like he was hit. He's still wearing his hat and everything. Yet it is the fact that he was hit, Your Honor. Oh, that looks worse. His victim, we took the victim with his head off during our investigation. Oh, that's quite shocking, isn't it? His head certainly was hit. Yep, that's true. But I've seen it happen. The defendant, he lunged the victim, his neck. Oh, really? So really? I think I've caught you in your own line this time. Justice? I admire your enthusiasm, but perhaps you should think this through once more. What do you mean? I found a contradiction. I got it. Something in your testimony that troubles me. Very well. Seems we should continue the cross-examination. I'm just thinking too much. This horse is dead, let's stop beating it. There's such a thing as thinking aloud too much, too. Was that allowed? Okay. Okay. We're back with this testimony. Deal cards for the game. They had hats on. After the defendant tried to strangle victim, he hit with bottle. I mean, that worked. Wait, what? After he tried to strangle him? talk to me about that. You didn't say anything about hitting before. So sorry. I must be forgetting this. Witness, you will take greater care with your testimony. I'm sorry, Your Honor. And that clears up the conjecture with the autopsy report, I believe. Defendant made to strangle his victim and then changed his mind and chose a simpler, blunter means to do the job. Yes, that summed it up nicely. He strangled him and then hit him. What makes fishy about all this? Go ahead. I believe you know what it is you need to do. Right, sir. Leave it to me. Oh, is it the... Let me have a look at that picture. Yeah, he's not strangled at all. Like, if he was strangled at least a little bit, you would see that. Yes. Deal cards for a game. Da da da. Oh, no. That's not it. That doesn't conjunct the evidence. I'm sorry. What is it? Okay, sorry. The autopsy report? The bottle. His locket. I believe it was a good luck charm, You kept it many times as he played that night. Yes, he must have felt as though his mate carried him to the moon and to stars. Though if I were small enough to fit around his neck... Oh, no. Though, if it were small enough to fit around, I wouldn't have much lift. Defense like the clarification, this is a locket we're talking about. I mean, a pendant with a picture in it, right? Not a rocket? Of course, I knew that. It's probably a pendant shaped like a rocket. That's what she called it that. No, a locket's a locket. It doesn't matter what shape it. It's such a bad form to poke fun at the heart of hearing in our society. Hard of hearing or hard of understanding. Maybe a little both. It's the judge, you know. He doesn't have the locket in the picture, so where did it go? Objection! You know, there's one curious part in testimony, just like Mr. Gavin said. But what does it mean? Mr. Justice, would you like care to explain what it is you're thinking so intensely about? Recall the testimony, Your Honor. The victim played with his hand on his locket at his neck, I believe she said. I hope you're about to raise an objection to the witness's grammar. No, but look at this photograph. Do you see a locket on the victim's neck? Well done, Justice. I'm impressed. I knew you'd be able to handle this. But what does it mean? If we're to believe this witness' testimony as is, the locket disappeared following the victim's death. Lockets don't just disappear, Your Honor. It's quite simple when you think about it. The locket is gone. Someone must have taken it off. No? Taken it off? Wait, you don't mean... The defendant wasn't strangling the victim at all. He was taking off his locket. Wouldn't that explain it? Defendant, what do you have to say to this? Say. Yes? I just noticed this, but... Oh. I see that as well. You have something hanging around your neck, don't you? Oh, you mean this? Yes, it's a locket, with a photograph inside. A photo of my daughter. Come again! Mr. Wright, you have a daughter! We confirmed at the time of the arrest. The picture in the locket is indeed Mr. Wright's daughter. Huh. he has a daughter and a locket. So Mr. Wright has a locket too. Why don't I buy that? It's just a coincidence. Oh no, the results of the poker game led to the murder. Perhaps you should hear a bit more about the outcome of the game. For the testimony won't really be necessary. It's clear the defendant lost. Badly. What are you looking? Mr. Ridley, you testified to the court about the game played between the victim and the defendant. Okay. She had a look. But whatever. Serious competition. The game began with 3,500 point in chips for each man. House chips combine two sides, large, small and large. The one who was spinning, was the victim. For the last 10, the defendant play all chips on table and use. No one lost was decided. The defendant grabs bottle from table and hits him in the head. Okay. Indeed, look at this picture. It does seem to be a one-sided game. As the court knows, the poker was the defendant's life. Fairly must have been a bitter pill to swallow. How many times have I heard these words? I don't know if it anger, Your Honor. Now I regret what I done. A common tale, but true. Methinks the judge watches too many old court movies. Mr. Wright said he hasn't lost in 7 years, but something must be wrong. I'm just gonna press this a little bit. Those are the usual starting points. Were there any special rules used? No, not special. This is a game. Usual rules. Each man getting with 3,500 points, and the total would be, exactly 7,000 points. Please, this isn't calculus. It's not even long division. Two sides. Okay. Chips in the photo, all the chips that were used. Of course. Something's fishy with these chips. Should I press? Of course, always. Maybe you could explain a bit more about these chips. Explain. What is there to be explained? Why are you objecting? Poker chips are poker chips. They're not fish and chips. They're not a chip off the old block, not a motorcycle cop, not a... Thanks. Now that I've pressed there, I'd better ask something. What are these chips worth? Are they in dollars, or rubles even? Nate, I've been saying before, this is a game, not gambling. Perhaps hard perhaps for capitalists to understand. Two types of chip, 100 points and 1,000 point chip. That is not money, da. Justice? Sir? Don't you find her comments interesting? In more ways than one, sir. I've added to her testimony myself. Well, does the of course, always. Yes, I do think they deserve further scrutiny. Add to the testimony. I wish I knew where I'm going with this. Well, very well. Witness, if you be so kind. Your Honor. Okay. Wait a minute. Wait a gosh dang minute. If that doesn't make, if the big ones are worth more, then that doesn't make any sense. That's like 10,000 already. But the other ones, that doesn't make sense. I'm gonna present and see if it works. Yes, it does. You're sure it was the victim who won? Absolutely sure. Yeah? That seems already what's already a bit confused. I'll glance at the pictures enough to tell you one. If you're not in kindergarten. Just for safety's sake, could you explain the problem to the court? Of course, Your Honor. In this photo I see small chips and I see large chips. Tell me, which were worth 10,000 points? Wait, the big ones, of course. Duh. Oh, I thought so too, but then the totals don't add up. But the totals... Let's review what the witness told us. Each man started with 3,500 points in chips. And the combined total was 7,000. Yes, if my calculations are correct. Let's see, the 3 plus 1 carry the 5. They are, Your Honor. Now, look at this photo that allegedly shows all the chips. The big chips are worth 10,000 points and the small chips are worth 100. You add them up. How much is it? Do it yourself. You aren't in kindergarten, are you? 10,600 points. The chips don't add up. This clearly contradicts witness's testimony. But why? How could this be? Exactly, Justice. Now that you know the what, you must determine the why. Right, there's only one possible way to explain this contradiction. Both were right. Each man began the game with 3,500 points. If all the chips are indeed shown in this photograph, then there will be one answer. But what is it? The value of the chips was the other way around. What? Want to know what I think? The small chips were worth 1,000 points, not the big ones. Madness! Utter madness! Show me that photograph of the chips again. There are 6 small chips and 10 large chips. Why, that does make 7,000 points if you add them up. Excellent work, Justice. It's almost as though you figured it out by yourself. Well, I'm just glad I was the one who said it. But wait! The razors was made different, but that changes nothing! Indeed, the victim did have the larger number of chips still. Ah. Exactly. The small chips are worth 1,000 points, and the large chips are worth 100. Let's do a little math. Add up the points for each side of the table. The victim, Mr. Smith, had 2,900 points, and the defendant had 4,100 points. Well now, seems that Mr. Wright was winning that night after all. That's impossible. The client had even less reason to kill the victim. After all, he was winning! He was winning. Alright, and on that note of winning, we will come back next time and see where this whole chips poker debacle leads us. So until then.